How far can we take Luton Town on Football Manager Season 7? We're back in Europe for the second time in this save. We've got quite a lot of money to spend, about 120 million to spend after just one player sales. The board aren't investing money in me. I'm just making my own business model and putting it out as I thought I would do. Obviously, it's a bit frustrating. I don't really get much more money from the boards because, well, I want to try and make this a sustainable model. As my team gets better, the wages will go up, which means I'm going to have to sell more players, but we'll deal with that then. So we did sell our players, been here for a few seasons, did well, didn't quite start to reach the levels of my new signings. Arthur's gone for 31 million, and then just a new gen who, a lot of potential, but he had a couple of loan spells, and I have so many players in this position, I just cashed in. So signed him for 4 million, sold him for 20. Same again with this lad here, Damien, another right winger. I just had too many. To be fair, he wanted to leave. This was one I didn't really give enough time, to be honest with you. 5 million last season, halfway through, and I signed for 12. Still, it's a profit. I'm a bit of a wheeler dealer on this. In terms of players that came in, so we signed this guy. How unbelievable is this guy looking? 31 million, he can play up front. I am actually going to play him on the wing because of Baldini's form. But he can also play up front, which is great. I've got a powerful centre-back in, Wonder Kid. 21 million from Turkey. Looks like an absolute nutter. He's going to be good. I hope. Diego Rodrigo came in, ball-winning midfielder, another young player, 18-year-old from Brazil, matches minimum release clause, got a lot of potential. See what I'm doing here. And then we've got a star English under-21 striker. Next, Michael Owen, I'm thinking. Anyway, one kid from Southampton. 21 goals in the championship squad. I've spent 30 million on him. Obviously, there's a lot of competition for places. And then another striker coming, which I pre-agreed from the Uruguayan League. What a surprise. 4.5 million. Wonder kid. Nice. Bags of potential. Another one I hit the release clause from. A lot of potential from Sao Paulo. 15 million midfielder. More of a creative one. Another Serbian. I was saying how you only get 1 or 2 Serbians from the same team again. I'm building assets in that under 21s now. I had to invest in a second or third choice goalkeeper. So I got him in for, I just found out money by that point, 1.8 million. I just wanted to be sort of a cheap keeper. Hopefully we'll never play much. That's what I thought. Dow, you're thinking, why another right back? This was literally because I had money spare. He had potential, so I was for 5.5 million and then loaned him back. And then for that, I got a first team right back in. He wasn't too sure joining. He only wanted a 2-year contract. It's really weird. But I signed a 21-year-old Welsh, 4-star, spent 24.5 million from Celtic. He should hopefully be my right back for the save. So yeah, the team is looking better. I feel we're better equipped to play in the Europa League and play in the league. Hopefully we can get top 7 as well as do better in Europa League this time. And it couldn't have started better. 2-0 win against Norwich. Frustrating draw at home to Villa before a 2-1 win at Brentford. Now, I had an issue. You're going to notice Owen Goodman played there and played very well in a 2-1 win. That's because my keeper, who, you know, I always take this gamble of not having the best number 2, got injured, Restes, who's been brilliant, out for 2 months. And that's got a problem at the start of Europa League, you know. And I didn't have that much faith in my number 2 from last season. So I started to sell him. I've got Goodman in, and then I brought in Kelleher on loan as in Liverpool number 2. He's at Napoli on loan for those few months. And hopefully that will get me through that section. But as you can see, good start to the league. Kelleher had his debut in the League Cup, and it went as well as you can see there. No comment. We then drew against Newcastle. 5-0 win in Europe. I gave Goodman a game I just want to see. Basically, in these 2 months, those 2 keepers, can you prove to me? So that's our first game in Europa League. Lost 1-0 at Tottenham, frustrating. Battered the team 7-1 in Europa League. Massive win against Liverpool, 3-2. Really big win. My players are doing great. Kelleher had his first decent game, and actually be his only decent game for me in that game. But look, my DM, he scores a lot. He's ball in midfielder, and he's still scoring a lot. And the Serbian winger and Kovacic, the German number 10, doing really well. Lost 3-0 at Man City. Haaland needs to get a hobby. Haaland. Drew against Sporting Lisbon. Beat Fulham 2-1 again. My man, my Jan. 2-1. That's terrible. And then Andrew Chula is what player he's been, by the way. You know, the one I signed for 30 million, the Spanish one who can play on the wing. I'm starting to put him up front a bit because, of course, as soon as you have a good striker, they're then terrible the next season. Lost at Man United, as you'd expect. A great win against Mönchengladbach in the Europa League, followed by a 2-0 home defeat to Chelsea. Men, again, in my favourite position after 10 games, 10th. It's not going too badly. But I'd hope for a little bit better. Restes is back in goal now. Hasn't played very well since he has come back, but Kelleher had a 6-1-6-1. He did not play very well. And Goodman actually did quite well, my number 3. The frustrating draw at Burnley was followed by a commanding 5-0 win. Europa League's going really well. We've had easier games, but we're doing really well in it this time. Oh, that was so annoying. I was livid. I was so annoyed after that. to throw it away like that. Yeah, not good. 2-0 win against West Ham though after that. Brilliant win at Forest. I mean, look at this form. Win in Europe again. Then we lose 2-0 home to Leeds. Just, it's annoying coming back from Europe. I'm trying not to rotate, I'm trying not to rest. But they're a young team. We beat Brentford 3-0, beat Stoke 1-0, and then we beat Brighton 1-0. So it's a young team doing well. Aaron Jones is very injury prone, but very good when he plays. As you can see, just my left back, he's a Mexican left back, all doing well. Centre back duo, the Turkish one and the German one, I think it's French German, doing well. These are real palm scoring in Ben. My DM's just unbelievable. I love him. Cult era at the club. Coutinho coming through. David is doing all right in left wing. He doesn't play that much. He's gone for a little bit. We are 4th in the Premier League. 4th place. I'll take coming in top 7. It's very tight there, of course, and also we're miles away from the title race. This is what I'm going to start having. I've got so many youngsters, but then they won't grow if I'm not giving them consistent first team games. But then I want all of them to grow. So do you loan them? Do you make them happy? Harvey Elliott's still doing well. Hector Rodriguez is still doing well. What a guy. He's starting to play more in left back now. Wrestler's still good in goal, but centre backs are very good. There's a lot of talent in this squad now, but we got battered 4-0 by Arsenal. It happens, but then this was a really disappointing defeat. First game in January, home to Everton, knocked us out of the sort of the top 4. Draw against Wolves in the FA Cup. I just don't do well in the FA Cup at the moment. Draw at Villa, then won after extra time in the FA Cup 3rd round at Wolves. Redeemed ourselves, beat Norwich 1-0, and then in the Europa League, we won 8-1 against Villarreal. And then we went out of the FA Cup to Sheffield United. Amazing. But we're basically qualified straight to the last 16 in the league. We've dropped down to 7th. We just need to get that top 7. I want to get in Europe twice. But again, Rested got injured. He fractured his arm. So he is now out for another couple of months. So, I mean, and Kelleher has been terrible. This guy I had last season played quite a lot. I have so many centre-backs just loaned out to Sheffield United in the end. Philip Sung, the one from Peterborough, I don't know if you remember from last part. He's playing in the Championship this season, doing well. He's growing really well. And got the best potential. He hasn't got full 5-star, but he's growing all right. Right back out on loan. Looks like he's going to do all right. He's doing out on loan in La Liga. Needs to just with my youth. Baldini, who scored 17 goals last season for an out of season. So I haven't been lucky with injuries. I've invested in a new sports science team. After 3-0 the win against PSV in the last game of the Europa League group, February was a nightmare. 3-2 defeat at Newcastle, 2-1 defeat at Tottenham, 4-1 defeat at Liverpool. The results you can expect, but we're better than that now. It's just Kelleher back in goal again. He's just been, as look at the race, it's been shocking. I even played my number 3 keeper a bit. And Goodman was there and conceded 3, but we beat Man City 4-3. That was 10 point when we won 3-2 at Fulham. I just played my keeper injured with a fractured arm on his road to recovery. I mean, that's kind of how we back quite a lot now having Rested this season. Europa League, 2-1 win at Marseille and then 2-0 win at home. Put us through to the quarterfinal again. The joint furthest, we got to quarterfinal last time. How far can we take it? We've got a couple tricky games in the league. We're down to 13th place. But look how tight it is. We're still 5 points off and we've got a game in hand. We need to get top half at the East. Else they're going to probably get annoyed at me, the players, again. And I need to hopefully get top 7 and see if we can win Europa League. Inevitably, though, we lost 4-3 at Chelsea. Really frustrating game. Beat Man United 3-1. Really frustrating draw at home to basically relegated Burnley. Drew at Leicester. Then a great 2-0 win in the quarterfinal of the Europa League at Leverkusen, followed by a disappointing win in the league, which really started to end our chances of getting top 7. To get Europe, we need to win Europa League, which also we get Champions League. And then we beat Bayer Leverkusen 1-0. Kamara scoring, Kamara. 3-0 win against Forest, win at Leeds. 4 games left in the Premier League. It's looking unlikely, though. 5 points off 7. Now, what happened in January? David, as we call him, left me. 76 million, release clause Newcastle. Couldn't get rid of it. Tried to talk him down. Harvey Elliott went as well for 33 million. However, we did bring Ernesto, you might have seen this name pop up, for 55 million from Man City, who come through their youth. Really good player, central midfielder, really exciting. Valencia's youth, sorry. We're going to probably have to win. It's not been a terrible season, but it's just getting a bit frustrated. And without the investment from the club, I've got 147 transfer million budget because of the players I've sold, which I'm going to show you in a bit. But that club balance, without the investment from the board, how far can I take this football club? Is this the limit now? Is it just a few seasons in Europa League and back? We'll see. But we've got Juventus in the semi-final. Let's play that first. We lost 1-0 at Juventus first leg. Not a disaster. That was a disaster. Against relegated Stoke, we lost 3-2. We then beat Juventus 2-0 Thanks to goals from Adam Wharton, what a legend he's been, and Mario Gamara. So the league's gone. But if we win the Europa League final against Tottenham, this is what I meant in the last bit, a Luton and Tottenham rivalry, after they took one of our best players, we're in the Champions League. If not, we're back without European football, back without the money. It is so crucial. In the league, we drew against Brighton, we drew against Arsenal. Into the final, we had to win. The problem I immediately had was I was playing 2 players who were knackered before. Those 2 players went off injured, but it didn't matter because we burst into a 1-0 lead. My DM, my goal-scoring ball-winning midfielder, Michael, the Danish legend, made it 1-0. However, from the penalty spot, Tottenham scored, and then they scored soon after. Things can get worse. We're at 3-1, and yes, my old player who they signed from me, I sold to them for 86 million in the summer, scored, broke my heart. No European football. That's a big game to lose. We then lost 2-1 at Everton just to sort of rub the salt in the wounds. We came 12th, which in my eyes is a big underachievement. So we got to the Europa League final. If we won it, we've been Champions League. Everything's great. But now without that, is that the game we look at and we think, yeah, that was our big chance to go forwards? We had some great performances. We've got some great players. But without investment from the board, I did think at this time, with season 8, is this my last chance? You know, I'm going to get through to 10 seasons regardless. That's all I do with these things. So I'll start another one and or we carry on this, whatever people want me to do. But I did have a thing at that point. I went, I'm not too sure I've got much more. I think I might have hit the limit of how far we can take Luton Town. But watch the next 3 seasons.